Hey guys, it's Merce. Welcome back to Harpies in the Trees. It's been a really nice holiday for me. I've been able to just kind of relax and just chill and spend some time with family, so that was really nice, and I hope that you were able to do the same and that you don't have to go back to work anytime super soon. I know that I don't have to go back until the 2nd, so I'm going to be using this time to do some extra videos, actually. So I'm going to do my Kill Creek review today, and then I think tomorrow I'm going to do a year-end wrap-up. Never done a wrap-up video. It's not going to be a lot of books because I'm a slow reader. I think I'm just really interested to see like how I feel about the books I read previously to how I feel about them now, and see like what books really do maintain their luster. So let's talk about Kill Creek. Our book opens with a professor named Sam McGarver who is giving a lecture at a university on an introduction to horror. And he's mainly explaining these different elements of Gothic, how they work, what they mean, and where we see them in stories that we already know. And his students are pretty receptive to him. They seem to like him a lot. There's some really good banter that's kind of going on. But Sam is struggling. He seems to be suffering from some type of PTSD or something like that. It's not really clear what that is, but getting through this lecture is not easy for him. Even though on the outside, he's handling it very, very well. Towards the end of the lecture, a question puts Sam off his game, and he's kind of floundering, time slows down, but he's saved by the bell, and the period is over. He returned to his office, and this strange looking young man approaches him. He's dressed very well, he's very good looking, but he has this kind of strangeness to his features that Sam really just can't put his finger on. This man introduces himself as Wayne Wright. And Wayne Wright is a producer of sorts, but he owns a company that's sort of like a digital entertainment company. And they're really known for pulling a lot of wild stunts to get views and clicks and stuff like that. So Sam is a little wary, to say the least. But the objective from Wainwright is pretty simple. He wants Sam to spend a few nights at a supposedly haunted house and to do an interview live. Initially, Sam doesn't really know what to think of this offer. What does it mean? What's it for? Why him? But he finds himself sort of considering it, and he eventually ends up with 3 other very famous horror writers heading to this location. T.C. Moore is an alternative horror writer who leaves her writers covered in blood and cum, basically. There's Sebastian Cole, who is he's more of the literary type, maybe more like your Shirley Jackson kind. And then there is Daniel Slaughter, who's a Christian horror writer whose motifs are kind of like, sinners get what sinners deserve type thing. And Sam McGarver is more your contemporary writer. He writes about normal people being forced into inexplicable, horrible circumstances. So they're all very, very different from each other, not just in what they write and how they write, but also who they are, where they live, and what kind of lives that they lead. The location that they are brought to looks like a haunted house. It's old, it's abandoned, it's in the middle of nowhere. It's pretty creepy looking, and it's known as Kill Creek. So that's how Kill Creek begins. 4 writers are asked by some digital agency, Wunderkind, to be interviewed live in a supposedly haunted location. It's really cool. Like, I feel like that premise alone is like, that seems so awesome. Like, I would definitely tune into that. I would definitely tune in to watch Scott Thomas being interviewed in a creepy location about his book. I mean, it just seems so weird and interesting. I think you'd want to see like how that person manages that sort of situation, and also like, will there be something that happens? That'd be so cool. I think that would be something that I would definitely tune into for. So when I first learned about this book, typical Lydia had done a review on it, and I liked her review. Her review piqued my interest, and I wasn't sure. I was like, I don't know, like, is it gonna be like, oh, these 4 authors, like, they're just gonna sit there and like, wax poetic about being writers for like 500 pages? Like, I just didn't really know. I wasn't really sure what it was gonna be like. And they do talk about, I mean, writing is the soul, I think, of the book. Is like, because when you create something, whether it's like a book or it's a painting or whatever, you're definitely, when you are, like when you feel inspired to do these things, you feel compelled. You feel this compellation, I don't know if that's a real word, but let's go with it. Compellation to do it. Like, you can't stop. You have to do it. You just feel driven to. You feel like there are forces that are making you do it, or it's divine, or it's undivine, or whatever it is. Like, you know, you feel like you just have to do it in this drive that's happening. And like, I think for writers, having that drive is really important. You know, like musicians, to anyone who's creative, it's like, you're like, ugh, if I don't have inspiration, I have nothing. It was really compelling from the first page for me. I really liked Sam. I really liked the lecture that he's given, even though that's like such a tiny part of the book. It was just really good. It was really, really interesting. I loved all of the characters. I loved T.C. Moore. In the beginning, I didn't really like her, because T.C. Moore is sort of abrasive, and she's, you know, has a chip on her shoulder. So you kind of like, you know, it's like, ugh, you know, I don't really like dealing with people like that too much in real life, you know. But she really grew on me, and I really just learned to like her so much. And all of the characters have this kind of quality to them when you just care about them. There's a lot of tension. Like, there's tension between the characters, there's tensions between, you know, them and the house, there's tensions between, just tension, so much tension. And you're just thinking, like, when is this hammer gonna fall, you know, and you're just waiting for it, and you're waiting for it. So that's pretty exciting. So for me, it really was a perfect story, just from cover to cover. It was really satisfying in so many ways, and definitely met a lot of my expectations, in just the sense of, you know, it just feeling good, the way that it begins and the way that it ends. It's really engaging. It's an interesting mystery. It has a lot of guttural gore, nice supernatural elements, and really fun creations of like what those things look like in this dimension, this Kill Creek world. When I was reading this, I was having a really just hard time at work, just not a good time at all. And so when I would leave work, I just wanted to escape and go somewhere else completely. Just wanted to hide somewhere. And Kill Creek kind of just became my emotional support book, and it's some kind of like, just became a haven, I guess, for me every single day during the work week, and it was just great. So that was really cool, and it was the perfect book to do it. It just, because it just grabs you as soon as you start. It's like, just sucks you in, and so that was awesome. So I gave Kill Creek 5 stars. It's 107 points out of 114 points of my point system that I have. This was my first and only novel of 2019 that I gave 5 stars. And my main reason for giving it 5 stars was that I like enjoyed it from cover to cover. It was engaging. Everything about it was interesting. I felt like there wasn't anything in here that shouldn't have been in there. I love T.C. Moore. I love the way that Scott Thomas wrote her. I thought she was awesome. And I loved all the other characters. I loved the story. I listened to a podcast called This Is Horror. There is a 2-hour interview with Scott Thomas where he talks about his inspiration for Kill Creek, which apparently came from a schoolhouse in his hometown. And he also talks about his other projects. He did mention that Kill Creek is in the works to be a show series, so I'm really, really looking forward to this. And I just hope that they keep T.C. Moore intact as she is, because I would really hate to see her reduced to just like your typical babe you know, because she's so interesting and so cool. So be sure to definitely check out that podcast. So that was my review for Kill Creek. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I hope that you can pick it up and give it a read. I think it's going to be something that you do enjoy. And if you have any book suggestions for me, please let me know. If you like Kill Creek and you like some other book that you feel like is sort of comparable or something, let me know. I would definitely love to check it out. Be sure to subscribe and follow if you like these videos. Lets me know that you are into them and I will keep making them. I will bid you good night and I will talk to you next time.